Audio check, audio check, audio check. Okay, so the audio check is working a bit. And stream looks like it's working quite well. So I'll be sharing this with a few groups and then we'll be ready to proceed. This is probably a pretty much how we're going, how we're ending the this time with Tarkir Dragonstorm. I could do one more draft of that, but well, but but I'm probably had enough of Tarkir Dragonstorm for the day. So we're gonna be doing a mixed up. Gonna be doing one mixed up Premier draft. Honestly, this is gonna be a test of fundamentals and probably a little test of your luck as well because they're not exactly gonna be preparing quite a lot. I guess the one things that have changed since the last time they did a mixed up draft is presence of morph, presence of manifest. So so we have those kind of options as mana fixing. Speaking of which, mana fixing is quite available if it happens to be in the pack. I do not know if there's any sort of seeding in these packs. So, but otherwise, it's pretty much gonna be a game of fundamentals. We look out for the obvious bombs. Mana might be an issue there, but if we see a bomb that's really good, we have to, in the early picks, we try to make those work. We then look out pretty much for removal and evasion from there, and removal and basic and card advantage for the most part. Evasion can kind of follow. It's probably one of the metrics of what makes a card better. Otherwise, it's just also a question of what's the going rate. Like card quality, like creature quality has kind of gone up over the sets, so I don't think creature quality is going down anytime soon. So if you find one that is pretty much on par with a modern set, that is the way to go. Because we'll be picking, because we'll have access to older cards. That means we may end up with creatures that are not quite on that par. So try to find ways to. Also, we have to be careful on looking out for synergy cards because it's harder to build synergy if the set is not curated. It's also harder to start the draft if one person does not tune in on time. So we're gonna rebuild this table, I guess. Also should get some water. So time to rebuild ZQ. Also should try to. I honestly also don't think that 17 lands is also the 17 lands client is gonna work as well. Seriously, another person that's sleeping. Come on. Or did the bug just put the same person back in? Usually okay, there you go. And okay, do we have a bomb? Not really, but we do have a big source of card advantage. The only caveat is cards we draw don't end up on our pile, so we don't exactly have a great pick for this. Falcon Rachno. This one's kind of for synergy, so we're not so looking into that. We kind of like Mana Dorks, but we do have to be careful because this one needs 2 colors just to work. Falcon Rat Novel could let us do an aristocrat style build. This is fine. I might just end up taking the Frenzy. If it's removal, it's just compulsory rest, which is not very great. Yeah, I guess we just take the Frenzy. Okay, we're getting into red, though this one's not that great for red. Satyr's Cunning is okay, but not great. Scampering Scorcher. A 1/1 that comes in with 2 other 1/1s, then all your elementals gain haste. That's okay-ish. I might just take Burn from Within, but honestly, it's not looking that great for us. We might end up just having to stick to red if we don't get anything really good. red-white could be a bit of an option. Though again, we're running into synergy cards. This one's not a synergy card, so but this one does give us some sort of card advantage. This one's okay. Necrosynthesis, whenever another creature dies. This was not great. Well, we can also just go with straight removal. There's Vanquish the Weak. So we can choose to go with aggro, which does line up with our what we picked so far. Or we can go with more removal. I could also go for ramp. We'll speculate a little bit. Let's go for it. Inventor's Apprentice. +1/+1 as long as you control an artifact. Okay. Steam Path Charger. When this creature dies, wasn't that great then. Okay, so green is not looking great. We probably would have been better with white. There was a Traven Inspector here. We could hope to get Inventor's Apprentice on the come around. Yeah, we probably would have been best with red-white here. I could also just take the Charger to solidify our spot in red. This is a 2-mana 2/1 with the option of generating additional 1/1. I think I'll take this one. So, but with this one, we're hoping to look for creatures to ramp into. Cackling Emergence is not one of them. The Dawn Runner is an interesting option because if it's a good one to explore. Whenever another creature you control enters, you gain 1 life. Bogart Root. Both of these kind of solidify us in red. This one does draw. This one does give us card selection. Yeah, I might just take the Brute here. No, I'll take the Raider. At least so this one we know when you start taking this we know that we want to hold on to a few lands. And since most of red, so we're equipment. There might be some we might be able to get this back. I can take this and speculate on getting this one back. I can also speculate on getting dinosaurs back, but that's usually harder. I can also just take this one as additional ramp, but we are not exactly hitting a very expensive one yet. I think I'm fine with taking the catalyzer here. So pretty much aggro start. Unless we can hit something big, we are going to lose quite quickly. Owner of target artifact or creature. Then discover equal to its mana value. That's interesting. Yeah, we should have gone into white. I'm taking the Bright Blade Stoat because this is probably the most annoying. Because then we're just gonna have to we're gonna embrace the aggro, especially with this guy. If we can find some, if we can get some of the pump cards back, those would be really great. Hey, Kyle Braxton, peace to you too. Nice to see you again. Yeah, good to see you around. So pretty much, I'm still waiting for. Okay, looks like we got a little bit of a bottleneck there. So we have 2 plans. We can either go full aggro. We probably could have done that with if we picked the white cards earlier. That would have been the better one. But this one's speculative. We can still pivot in either direction. Okay, never mind. Got Pioneer. Whenever you play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, and so we have quite a few options for this. I am going to take this one. But we are not going to be on the lookout for cards that exile and let us play them. There should be quite a few of these in common. So do I want Skyblade or Gyre? I guess at the least this is a 3/2 haste. This one just 1/3 flying is not that. It's a good blocker, but it's not exciting. Yeah, so we're gonna run. So this is how we're running right now. Pretty much aggro for the most part. So play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile. Now, unfortunately, this is from the top of our library, not from Excel, so this doesn't quite line up for us. Don't have anything that builds up to that for us right now, but we have 2 more packs to see if this becomes anything more than a 2-mana 2/3. Though we could also take advantage of other things that generate top tiers. Kaladesh is generally good at that. So we have 1 removal spell right now, so that is a concern. Okay. Unless a player has no cards in hand. 2 mana 5/5 is interesting. I'm willing to take this one just because it cycles, if nothing else. Okay, we got a Felonious Rage, something to go with our Bright Blade Stoke. There's a Brazen Blade Master, which is not so great. I think I just take the Felonious Rage. Also got Heightened Reflexes. Making something first strike, it can be genuinely annoying. We don't have any detectives, though the equipment sounds right. We'll see if we get that equipment. Okay, we did not get it back. There's a Crackling Emergence, there's a Strength and Solidarity. I'll take the Crackling Emergence, but I'm not enthused with that. And for that same reason, we'll just take a good plain old Act of Treason. It probably has a better chance in this set. Okay, so our rare is the Theater of Horrors. Exile the top part of your library. You may, if an opponent lost life this turn, you may play. Ooh, so this is one of our options. Otherwise, we're probably just taking a Heroic Charge, but that's double white. Tuskeri Firewalker. This one might come back, but this is more. And this has to be attacking, so we can, and we're still paying 1 to exile. This is a bit risky. We have 2 cards that exile that will be taking cards off the top, that make us play from the top of our library. We need to have a consistent way to cause a player to lose life. I'll speculate on this, but I'm not sure if we can make it line up. There's an Otawara. Silk Wrap is decent removal. Planar Disruption also lines up with that for us. Otherwise, our big creatures probably just Wrecking Crew. I might just take the Planar Disruption over Silk Wrap. Now, I guess we can take this. Yeah, because there's a limitation here. At least this one, if our opponent happens to drop bigger creatures, we can hit it. And then let's see. Nope, that's Squirming Emergence, not quite. Okay, we'll definitely take the Scorching Dragonfire. There is a Broker's Hideout, but it doesn't help us get red mana, which is what we need. If we were still in the green plan, we would be looking at a Giant Beaver or a Chomping Kavu. So we do kind of have options there, but we're looking for. But we could still pick Scorching Dragonfire, so we're going with that. Kind of have a bit of a ways around here. So our removal set is we have 3 removal spells, 2 combat tricks. Clamorous Ironclad. So it's a question of how do we fit Theater of Horrors, because this combos really well with Pia, if we can even do that. Triumph of Anax, a super slow Act of Treason effect, but it does give us +X+O and Trample. We can likewise just take a Skewer Slinger, which is a very good blocker. There's a Fleeting Flight. Helios Pilgrim. It's a good thing we took Planar Disrupt. So this one can shooter that one if we have to, so we kind of have our card advantage there. I think we go for the Pilgrim. We can look for other card advantage. We can look for other card advantage this way. It's not shootering Theater of Horrors though. Yeah, we really need to. We might not even end up playing this one, so Yeah, let's focus on the red first. Enters and you fully unlock a room. When this creature dies, it deals its... This is fine. It's not exciting. I might actually like the Sanitation Automaton more, or even the Deconstruction Hammer, or the Akron Crusader. We have 1/2 that targets, so okay, maybe not so great. Definitely not taking Demolish. I think just take the Sanitation Automaton. I'll regret not taking a Crowan Crusader if we run into... Okay, so return. It gains haste, sacrifice in the beginning. But it's a one-shot deal. We will take Angelic Purge instead. Yeah, we're definitely passing on Monumental Facade. How is this rare? I guess there's some cards to trigger off this. There's also spare supplies if we're looking for it. There's even a Mimic and that. So removal is quite so. Hotshot Mechanic. I guess it's a 1-mana 2/1, so that's fine. There's a Gearbane Orangutan which we can also take. I think I would take the Orangutan first. Yeah, because we have a few. Okay, technically we have one. Remove an oil counter from this creature, discard the card, draw a card. Scorn Effigy for Foretell is super meh. Crash True draws. This is a combat trick. I might like over heighten them reflexes. But we do need to increase our creature count. I think I'll take we'll take the Effigy. I don't know why, but I'm gonna go for that one. Okay, G2 Chronicler gives us the option to get back an instant or sorcery, and we have a few that are nice, so we'll take that one. So this is probably the time to take Wrecking Crew. So that's a bit of our top end. We can still probably give up on some of these artifacts, say. 2-mana 3/1 is probably fine, but I'll probably be cutting most of the white in favor of red, though third pack is going to make that decision for us. Got Samus Sprint again. I think I take a Skewer Slinger this time. This is very annoying as an attacker blocker. A Crowan Crusader came back. How many enchantments do we have? 2. So neither of these are great. I'll take the Crusader. There's a Quick Draw Katana. I didn't think of the Crusher. Ooh! Yet another. Exile target each creature that crewed this. Return them to the battlefield. We have other options here. There's Castle that's out of our colors. Flame Dust Bolt is in our colors. I definitely want to take that. Pyretic Prankster. Interesting. A bit annoying to flip, but we can go for it. I think I just take the Flame Dust Bolt here. There's also Intrusive Pack Piece is an option, so is Silver Bolt, but we'll take the Flame Dust Bolt here. So we definitely need to start cutting some of the... So we can cut the artifacts for now. Orangutan's pretty much just there as a destroy target artifact thing. I think we can give up on Pia. I'm not seeing it line up. I'd probably rather have the 1/2 drop. Also, this one being a crew tree is a bit awkward. Like, we don't exactly have many tree power creatures, so we can give up on the Ironclad as well. Hey, we got Chandra Acolyte to Flame. I guess this is annoying enough that we can take it. There's also a Jaded Sellsword, but we don't have treasures. Yeah, we're taking Chandra.
I need more control. Just let me burn.
That's a great fit. We also should be looking at the quality of our... Oh, got Scurry of Gremlins. Create 2, then you gain an amount equal to the... This is a finisher. We can take this one. Because my other options are not that great. Yeah, we'll take the finisher here. And we got Glassworks, so as more removal. Ooh, well, there's also destroy target creature, but we want to stick to red if we can. So now that we know that, we'll give up on the heightened reflexes. You can give up on Helios Pilgrim. It's literally just getting one card. So we're cutting down on even more. At least we have permanents to sacrifice to if we work it together with Chandra. So that's a plan. Wrecking Crew is still there, but we probably want to find something better. Yeah, PNLR is not gonna fit. We don't have a way to make it work. Neither is Theater of Horrors. Airdrop Aeronauts. Double white is a problem. Veteran Dungeoneer. It's only an ETB trigger, not great. I don't like anything else though. Like Jousting Lance is really bad. I guess I take the 3/3 mascot for lack of anything else. Or I just take this and see if I need that as a top end, but it's a horrible top end for our deck. Pillar Drop Rescuer return. It's graveyard to hand, which may or may not be that relevant. Mishra's Juggernaut with an Unearthed, so this is probably fine. One of these two is fine. And we kind of have a lot of 2-drops. I'll speculate on the Pillar Drop Rescuer here. Not sure if it's gonna fit. This one's not. We have a Wild Ride. We have Built to Last as a cheap combat trick. Network Terminal, we don't really need. Trusty Pack Beast, it only returns certain artifacts. I might just take the Wild Ride because as a big haste, as a big hitter. Oh, Mizium Tank, this one's a classic. I'm willing to take this one. Oh, there's also a Tormenting Voice for card draw. Okay, we have our card draw. But we have this Mizium Tank, which is really good for us here. There's also Shredded Sails. I'm gonna take the tank. I'm kind of a sucker for that. Also, so Dinosaur Stampede. I guess we can take this one as a go wide if it gets to that. Guess this is also a combat removal spell. Okay, this one goes white. We could also make a treasure token instead. Yeah, I think I would take this one. So we're kind of filling out our trees. Not sure which one of these I want more. I still want to keep Wrecking Crew as a top end, but I could see us cutting it. Our average mana is 2.6, so we can go 16 lands on this. Actually, our Crone Crusader can go. We don't really have anything that targets it. Act of Treason's starting to look good now, but we have to be a bit careful. We don't have that many We may have to start considering adding a few more of our air quote creatures. Like we might have to add the effigy again. Well, first we'll look for the spells to cut. We'll look for the spells to cut and see how it lines up. The Mizium Tank is a lot better for us because at least its crew cost is really cheap. One power creature. That said, yeah, 6. Yeah, we can get away with the 10/7 here. So what are the things that we are... In fact, we can just get away with 9/7. We're going for 16. We do need to... I think 14 and 11 is fine considering one of them Chandra. We can add the Scorn Effigy again as another. We could add the second Scorn Effigy again and say cut. We would have to make 2 cuts as a result. So let's see. Fenar. Catalyzer's still fine. Chronicler is... It gets stuff back, but it's not the strongest one. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The Felonious Rage could also kind of be cut, but I'm still willing to keep it a combat trick. We kind of need something at least. Orangutan's probably one of our weaker ones. It does allow us to destroy artifacts if we need to, and we're deciding to add enough artifacts to start sacrificing those instead. So I guess what we can do is we can cut 7-tail Mentor. Keep the Scorn effigy some use. It's a shame that that's actually our only artifact so maybe we do trade that out. This is still fine as it is. So the weakest one of the bunch is probably the G2 Chronicler. So I'll run it like this for now. Not sure how far we go with this one. I am honestly concerned here. But we'll try to make the best out of things. And if we bomb out really badly, I'm gonna pivot into something else that's actually a little bit dirty. If not, I can just make a separate video. So we got our mana. We got early removal. We can hit early with Bandit. We can hit early with Chandra if we need to. Actually, it should not. Oh, this only target creature you control, so at least it saves that one. Let's see if our opponent gives us something that we could just burn. Nope, they did not, so we're gonna just play this. They might just be cycling or fixing their mana or whatnot. Yeah, they're just cycling. Now, if it's a big enough creature, we can just use Glassworks instead. But I'm hoping it... Ooh, there are 3 colors. Okay. So, since our opponent is... Yeah, we'll just go like that. Then this is instant. This is instant, so we have options here. Oh man, Felidar. It's a bit annoying. I'm swinging with this one because I might, if they choose to block one of them, I can still hold on to the Flame Blessed Bolt. I'm assuming our opponent has a big. This is a really big one. It's a good thing we were able to. It's a good thing our opponent was willing to concede that, otherwise we would have spent 2 cards on it. Now, you have to remember with this one, you still have to spend mana. It just gives you permission. So, for example, if I... Let's try this out. We also have a follow-up.
Go get him, but say hi to my fiery friends.
Ooh, our opponent was going for the big mana play. Let's see. If they go for removal here, I probably would cast a Felonious Rage. If they decide to pump Trummingbird with something, I have the Scorching Dragonfire, but they might have a Spell Pierce. It's still worth a shot. But hey, the direction we went to, consistent red, is probably good. Also, we held back the End Rider Catalyzer because, well, when someone has white, you're assuming the possibility of a board wipe. But also, I wanted to hold up these 2 instants if I can. Yeah, sure. And this is combat damage to a player, so they're not proliferating or anything. Yeah, that's rude. How could you? Anyway, we don't know what our opponent also stuck on 4 lands. While we could... So it probably bounces the Trummingbird. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna deny them. We're gonna deny them that one. Oh, they can return a land instead, which makes sense. So get them with the old Planar Disruption.
Go get 'em, buddies.
And this one is just so I can get the detective to block this. If I need the burn spell, I can use Chandra to get one of these guys, these 2 back. If I need to play it slow, I can just I can just unlock Shattered Yard and just try to survive 5 more turns. I would like to know what our opponent has in the rest of their hand, but it looks like they're kind of stuck somehow. This would have been a real backbreak. Okay, there's an agent. If they have a way to protect it, good for them. I guess I could have. So we'll see what they have, because they need to have at least 1 response. Yeah, sure. Oh, I could foretell this at any time, but I'm probably just gonna hard cast it. Oh yeah, those mites can't block. So there we go, we got our win. We could have done it the other... Okay, so no, we could not have done it the other way, because we would have been able to take them down to 1 and maybe... So that would also have been a valid option. But there you go, that was pretty solid for us. Okay, so let's keep going. See what else we have for this one. So no white, but we just need 1 more mana. At least we have an early play. We just need 1 more mana of any variety, and we're kind of okay. But we could also be easily punished for this. Oh no, we hit our white. We're good. So next turn we kind of want to do Gyre Reach Bandit, Exhibition Magician, depending what our opponent has. Frogify. Oh, that's fine. It's not the worst. It still hits. And the fact that they're using the this is really precious removal. The fact they're using it on this. Now that said, blue-red is very good at having lots of being very spell-centric, so that is an issue there. I think I also could have cast this, made the treasure token, then done that. We might even have to. We might even consider playing Experimental Frenzy soon. When it's actually, ooh. Now this is where the rares could kill us. So far that doesn't seem to be the case. Probably gonna swing with both anyway. Let's see if our opponent trades, or if not, they just pick one off. Okay, they're just picking one off. They're still taking the tree. So when this creature dies, draw a card. They got their. Oh, we got the flip too. They probably had something with flash maybe. I'm gonna be really surprised if they're not casting, or some sort of removal that's expected. So our play after this is pretty much just Experimental Frenzy and see what we can cast off the top. Oh, nice. And they draw quite a few cards. Okay, cool. Okay, and we definitely want to cast that. Ooh, we wanted to also cast that Chandra. I might have to actually pay for it to drop this just so I can just to cast Chandra. If our opponent decides to destroy this for us, ironically, in a way, it's kind of good for us. It's also helping us that they're locked out from activating the activated ability here, but not like they're anywhere near that yet. Yeah, they have a full grip. They have a lot of things they can do. Yeah, I kind of wish our card quality was somewhat better. Yeah, we don't exactly have an instant or sorcery to get back, so maybe we can wait on this. Haunting Figment, okay. Do they have a counter spell? No, they're not gonna counter. Ooh, that's another good one. If we can preserve most of our... Okay, so next turn, see what we play off the top. Leave to dust, return. Okay. So we are going to end up cracking this open. So it's a question of how do we sequence this. So this is 4 mana. That leaves me with 4. I think just the +1/+0 and haste might be enough. But otherwise, I wouldn't mind playing this than playing Chandra. Force them to hit us back or something. Yeah, they just have a lot of removal. So grab a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can hit them for 7. Okay, let's go for the super greedy one. In these colors, I'm assuming they have a counter spell or something. Yeah, they did have a counter spell. Okay, there we go, got it out of the way. So swing with this. So I can crack it. So I can crack this, play a land, get to 9 mana. So that leaves me with 5. If I can see a 2-drop off here, I wouldn't mind playing that first. Scurry of Gremlins might even be enough. This doesn't untap creature, so this one's still going to be locked out. We'll take. Yeah, drawing this many cards really does bring you from the brink. But I'm actually liking Experimental Frenzy for the most part. Okay, we have a removal as an option. I think we... I'm not sure if they have a counter spell or somewhat. Okay, I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna play the card they know. Yep, counter spell. Yeah, we need to start eating up these counter spells since our opponent's committed to that deck. Where'd this go? Pop up its owner's library, so we're not drawing the Glassworks, but that's kind of fine. Take 2. Tidal Terror. Okay, that's an attack trigger. We'll see if they counter this. Technically, I can also -2 just to then just grab the burn spell there, because it gives you permission, but since you still have to pay for it, and it won't lock you out.
Chandra, we need more control. Just let me burn.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's make the tokens.
Hey, don't worry. I brought company.
Let's make these. They did have a counter spell. Okay. So they will have to tap 2 to make it on. So I'm gonna leave this one behind for. Yeah, they really went for the counter spell there. Okay, but we did get them down to 4. So yeah, it would have gone either way. Glassworks, we probably end up opening it up to Shattered Yard. Start pinging them that way. If they tap everything just to hit Chandra, they probably will because the threat of okay, they have the option to tap now, and they will pop that.
Time to sleep for a week.
Let's see what their follow-up spell is. Megalodon, okay, big. So this one gets through. Yeah, but it's hexproof. This is the only one with vigilance, so we can technically just unlock Glassworks for it. Wow, we're really putting everything down to the wire. Do they have a way to untap it? They might still have removal. Nope, they don't. They're conceding. Whew, we got there. So their plan was really to just counter us to the Stone Age, and they did a good job on countering a bunch of our stuff. But Experimental Frenzy really gave us the extra cards that we needed. So, yeah, doing quite well. I am loving it so far. Okay, so having our spells be 1 mana pip means I am not nonplussed when this happens. Like I'm getting most of our off color. Okay, this is the exception, but we have other things we can play, so we can go along with that. So the first thing we can do is our opponent's early plays planar disruption. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh wow. And who knows, we might even have to use this to get our mana. Monstrosity, ooh, that's a bit annoying. Experimental Frenzy is not what we want to do. But I am going to offer the trade. Yeah, we might still be a bit hurting here. If they have to use a removal spell, and that's fine. Yeah, we play this first. We'll play the other spells later. We'll save Experimental Frenzy for last because we do have removal in. Let's see, do they have a follow-up? Oh, okay. A bit interesting that they're using the removal that way, but okay, but we are a bit in trouble. We haven't yet dealt much damage. Oh, that's a... I guess we have no choice. There's... Oh, come on. Don't tell me I'm gonna sacrifice this right away just to get our second. If we can get another red mana on top... Yes, we did, but... Oh wow, we're flooding really bad. I guess we... Yeah, I guess we crack this now. We did get the red mana we wanted, but now our play is... Our opponent hasn't done much of anything else. Okay. Okay, we can concede. We needed that hand, and that is a rare that will ruin our day. We couldn't really defend against that. Do I cut down? We are running 9 and 6, 9 and 7. We can actually just go 10-6 at this point. Like we literally only have 6 white cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So we'll make that adjustment there. The katana, I'm still trying to think if I want to fit it or not. But yeah, but that that sequence of cards that, off the top was really bad for us. We were not going to win that one. Okay, this is slow, but we can start with it. There's a chance there's a chance we hit our 2 drops, but we are going to be taking some early damage here. Like even with the sequence here, I might, if our opponent doesn't play an artifact, I might opt to make the treasure token. So it looks like magician plus token, or if our opponent does something funny, glassworks is also an option. Oh, I could have used that earlier. So we will make the treasure token because it makes it untapped, so Felonious Rage is live as well. Opponent not quite able to forage yet, so okay. Yep, that isn't. Well, they don't have the mana, so we still get. So our opponent is just hit. Oh no, they. Well, they could have sacrificed it also, but it would have been net same. That's a bit annoying. Yeah, now we are missing mana for sure. Yeah. They don't have an artifact to destroy. I guess I could just play this. Yeah, thankfully they did not spend mana from a treasure. That would have been even more painful. I want to see if we can tempt our opponent into sacrificing the Osteomancer at death. Now they might respond with a kill spell, but the damage has pretty much be done at this point. And we still get our token creature, so it's kind of save things a little bit. We still want mana though. Okay, we got our mana wish. I still probably want to pop this though. Yeah, the Wrecking Crew it was still useful, but maybe just not, the timing is a bit off. We definitely want to empty these two out first if we can. Okay, getting the Osteomancer back, eh? Yeah, just keep going sideways for now. Opponent wants a trade, I'm kind of fine with it. Add depth into infinite. I'm gonna offer. And let's see. They have enough cards, so I am going to Scorching Dragonfire. If they want to spend 5 mana to draw 2, discard 1, that's on them. Gravedigg is actually pretty solid. Modern Horizons also putting a kink on the power level. Now, if they don't have removal, we can actually block this. Also, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Not a lot, and I would need to hold one back. Let's see if they have the combat trick. If they do, I'd be so annoyed. Nope, they did not have the combat trick. I will still lose 2 life, but that is a... Thank goodness for incidental reach. Also, yeah, I kind of want at least one more creature. Chandra would be a great pickup also. Otherwise... Really? Okay, that's a good surveil. Yeah, I guess we're going for it, but if your opponent's plan is to just keep getting cards back and forth, we're not going to win. Like, we could start pinging them with this, but... Yeah, we did not have the rares to win the game. So how do we get out of this? We can hit our opponent. Okay, let's see.
Won't lie, I'm a pretty great.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's say just 1, 2. I get hit them for 4. I honestly want to get a spell back, but it's not going to be that great. Also, I would have to cast it right away. That's the problem. So... I guess we just...
Don't worry. They're so cute.
Yeah, they'll block that one. We go down to 8. Oh wait, yeah, we're dead. I forgot I forgot our tokens are sacrificed. The correct play was to get a mana spell, but no, we were not getting out of it with this one. Well, that's the kinks of it. All it takes is a really solid rare, and that's probably the weakness of the deck, and we pretty much acknowledge it, that we're not going to win if we run into something that big and backbreaking. I would like to get an extra win or 2 out of this one, but I am acknowledging the limits of it just didn't quite line up. The quality of most of the cards we saw were really down the gutter. So I guess we keep this and hope for what, one white, either 1 white or 2 drop along the way, because we can kind of survive with this. Had we been able to make the orangutan into a 4/4 at some point in the game, we probably would have had a better chance. But no, but you can see our opponent hit a rare and they built around it heavily. Well, I also wish the tech were oh, we did hit the 2-drop, so there we go. So our 3-drop is gonna either be Exhibition Magician or Chandra. If we get a decent white card, I would get. Well, never mind. Problem solved. We hit. So this is sorcery speed. This pings for 1. Opponent really holding it back.
I'm happy as a hellion to start some fires. Go get 'em, but say hi to my fiery friends.
I'm hoping they go for the Skewer Slayer. Yep. So next turn we can burn 4 within for 4. Okay, so we will be able to go for x equals 5. This does lock it out.
Hey, say hi to my fiery friends.
Let's see if our opponent decides to trade. Nope, this is gonna take a little bit. We're gonna... We are one really big creature away from getting blown out, depending on the type of the creature. But at least we're able to go sideways enough that we still have a fighting chance around that line. Right, let's see, our opponent played 1, 2, 3 creatures, 1 non-creature. They still have 3 cards in hand. They were kind of banking on investigating to get the extra creatures and to get extra card draw, but random exile kind of messing it up for them. They might have a fight spell. Ooh, this is also an interesting one. They might still have an out, but honestly, they have to block. I would probably block the cliff hit. Well, there's the trample. But yeah, it's over. We managed to go wide enough, so at least we managed to pack ourselves a third win. Let's see if we can get. Let's see if we can get one more. At least one more. That's usually the. Remember, that's my bare minimum. You want. My bare minimum. You want at least 4 wins to kind of justify the cost of entry. I think sometimes it doesn't line up. It's okay. Considering I know that I am really playing from behind, 3 wins is acceptable. So we're not gonna be able to double red, but we do hit our Bright Blade Stoat. So we can Stoat into Glassworks. 1 more mana gives a 7-tail Mentor. Nope. So we can Stoat into Glassworks or Mizium Tank. So we have that option already. Opponent, if they don't have a Fatal Push, they are... Okay, they don't have the Fatal Push, so... we will lead on the tank. Next turn we can 7-tail Mentor. Okay, we'll see what our opponent does. 7-tail Mentor is an option. Sanitation Automaton is an option. Glassworks popping whatever their next card is an option. If their next is just destroy target artifact, it doesn't. Our board is still safe, more or less. Nope, they go for the stoat, which makes sense. So yeah, I'm actually gonna put it here. I remembered playing this when with the relative start of Arena. This was my go to, one of my go to cards in mono red. Yeah, I think I also played an Experimental Frenzy as well. Those were the good old days. So if we hit another land, I could go Raider for discard, and we could activate the tank again. That's also kind of the reason why I decided to put the counter on the tank instead of the mentor. With black, they probably have removal that can. There is also some removal that hits vehicles, but that is mostly an Aether drifting. So and we will play the Sanitation Automaton. That's a good surveil. We're keeping that. Now, if they have a non-creature spell to cast now, then they did. I'm curious what their spell is. In fact, they're looking at their graveyard. Murderous Cut, destroy target creature. Well, it's still destroyed. That's the annoying part. But we did get one really bad removal spell out of the way. And we also managed to time it, so Fort Bridge Prowler. Okay. Automaton goes bye-bye. I kind of want to play the Raider just so that we have something for 7-tail Mentor to dump that counter onto. They might just have removal, in which case we pivot to just activating Shattered Yard, because they're not in a position to win yet. Okay. We don't have another discard and draw, so I guess I can hold on to this. Now, this does mentor, so if this were to attack, he can make this into a 2/2. Yeah, Wojek Bodyguard is probably one of the most solid mentor cards for this set. Good, Exile too. That's 2 pieces of removal, 3 pieces of removal. Technically 4, because this one's able to take out the 1-drop. If our opponent swings with both, I just block the Prowler. That's a given. Now it's up to... So I'm gonna hold back a bit. I might have to. Oh, what did they hit? Bloodseeker. That's fine. But this one is a bit not. Well, the Mentor doesn't do anything, but we are taking quite a bit of damage now. So we kind of want to drop a creature. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is just 8 damage. They can discard a card. 9, 10. This gets to pump it, so it's actually 11. Ooh, it's actually quite close. I'm gonna have to actually play this just to have blockers. I need to take them down to at least 6 first. So I got them down to 6. Even if I don't draw a land, I can burn them all the way through with this. I just need to make sure to survive. I could have burned one of their creatures, but that doesn't make me closer to. But it doesn't put me closer to winning, because I'm pretty much guaranteed to take 4. So I'm probably gonna split the difference between the. So if he wants to discard, okay, he probably has Madness. Okay, let's see if they have. Oh, I don't. Yeah, they don't have a way to gain life. Burn from within. The burn from within was really just. That was really the only play. I could not play this. That's for sure. And there we go. We got at least our 4th win, I think. Yeah, we got our 4th win. I think games are going quite long. So let's see. So, what do you wish? What? So I am content with the 4th, but let's see if we can get the 5th. And so forth and so on. Let's keep squeezing this one. We kind of got this for the most part. Yeah, I actually, yeah, I wasn't expecting to be able to go this far with this one. This one was a good turnaround. Also, that reminds me, I really need to start doing practice draft. Okay, so we are definitely gonna do Sanitation Automaton first. One, because we could, if we can set up our 3rd land, we can combo to this one, and this does help us get closer if we need to. At least we have a second turn 2 drop if things get to that point. Okay, we did not draw the land. If we draw a 3rd land, we will probably play Skew. Inverted Iceberg. Ooh, that's it. Okay. So we have to play the Automaton first. I hate dropping Chandra, but we have to. If they have a removal spell, I just have to get out of the way. But this is how it ends when you keep a relatively. Well, it don't. So that's what it was? Well, I don't have a way to get Chandra back. Oh, did our opponent not... Wait, let's verify. Blocks or becomes blocked. Did our opponent not read? And so if I... So I'm going to swing with these two first. Opponent might end up blocking the automaton. It's the same thing. It's blocks or becomes blocked. You know what they're going to take? So... Probably want to destroy. Because this becomes really annoying if it gets to it. Okay, they might have a combat trick. They don't have a combat trick. Okay, it's a good thing I didn't play Glassworks yet. Now they might have a counter spell. I'm gonna play exit. They might still have a counter spell for this, but it's more likely to be a negate style counter spell. So I'm gonna go for this one. I'm gonna try to set up for the next turn Wrecking Crew. If I have to remove something, then sure, we go for it. Prize Griffin. Okay, that's a good target. I could also just play this, but also this is sorcery speed. Now watch me regret when our opponent plays an even bigger flyer. That's not too bad. Okay, so but this can crew this one, so it's a 5/4. I think our best bet is just to play our 4/5. And if our opponent decides to go for it, we can probably just just double block for the most part. Spring Slasher, so it wants to attack. I probably will. Well, first, this is the one that's gonna most likely ruin combat mat, so we're gonna get it out of the way. There's an argument for doing this than just pinging with this one, but I already gave up my Chandra. Ooh, nice. So we're not burning that. But at least it got used on defense instead of offense. So what are we hoping? Drawing into lands will get us closer to burn from within. Ooh, okay, they gain life. I guess we're taking 5. I could chunk, but I know we're taking 5. And I can see the argument that we just flip this one. Now I can swing with this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, us. Opponent is trying to flood. So what did they copy? Instant? Okay. So taking another 4. So this is still 6 damage. This one can still ping this one out. And this one is 1, 2. We don't really need artifacts. 3, 4. Okay, Angelic Purge. This one is sacrifice a permanent. You can also consider the possibility of just casting Burn from Within, then Experimental Frenzy. Especially if our opponent is just playing a face down card for no real benefit, we will just burn that. If we hit another land, we will double. Nope, we hit Museum Tank. And I'm still gonna burn this now. Ooh, that would have been a nasty one. But let's be honest, this would not have been. Our opponent really had to drop this face down. Yeah, it was just instinct. Okay, 7 mana. Opponent probably just mass blocks this. I'm fine with it, I guess. We do have enough. Yeah, we have to be realistic about this. Oh, we're now flooding. Okay, we hold back. Did he have an 8 mana spell that he was going to cast? Expel. Its controller gains life equal to its mana value. Sure. Okay, so. I don't want to play a land. Yeah, I don't want to play this land because it would strand whatever our next card is. I would rather draw into it and just start playing the rest of the cards. There you go. We did get our extra win. Experimental Frenzy. Yeah, that was the card draw we really. We didn't get to quite combo it with Pia. The text is different. But hey, it was an Experimental Frenzy, and I will take that Frenzy. Yeah, actually, I would be surprised if we go all the way with this. But 5 wins, I'm definitely happy. That's way more than the entry fee in gem cost. So, okay, this is an auto mulligan. We are kind of forced to keep this one. We might have to keep the Angelic Purge, in fact. Wrecking Crew goes to the bottom. We might even have to bin Scurry or Gremlins also if the cards don't line up. Okay, never mind. The cards are lining up a bit. I think I would still pitch the Scurry. Ooh, Stoat is nice. Hornet is what? Hornet actually thinking of removing this guy? Sure. It's annoying, but it's not the worst. Oh, they're holding it back. We'll play the tank. This one's a solid blocker, but for 3 mana to grab your basic man is... Well, that said, it's no activate as a sorcery limitation, so there is that benefit as well. But this is also kind of a relic of slower eras. Ooh. They have no plans of sacrificing it, eh? So that said, we could just well, it's a bit of a feel bad, but especially when we know there's a ferocious werewolf coming. But an Angelic Purge is not the worst thing we can do. In fact, if I could hit 1 more mana, I would just play 7-Tail Mentor, dump the counter, start swinging that way. Mizium Tank also a bit of a bygone era as well. It is a rare, the cost is really cheap, and it had an alternate... Actually, this is pretty much how we are getting our vehicles now. Now our opponent might end up having removal for this. I can't really do anything about it. It would be annoying if it happened. Opponent could block. They could just sack for the land, but oh no, they got... Ooh, wow. Okay, so +2/+1. Okay. Okay, I can respect that. Wow, that was super annoying. If our opponent decides to drop the Werefox, we can Angelic Purge the Cultivator, sacrificing the Mentor, swing with... Though I would much rather play the Stoat first and do it that way. Opponent is kind of holding back though. That's fine. Now this is going to be super bad if it turns out our opponent has more removal, and this is the color to expect it. Yeah, like I can't really do anything about it if they had the removal. We were kind of playing from behind for the most part. Oh, it's Colossal Dreadmaw. That's Sellsword. If I can hit Chandra, I would be able to... No, we'll take the 6. Oh, they have even more removal. Who would have thunk? Yeah, we are really playing from behind there. And now this one, Well, they did end up discarding this. Well, they did end up milling a bunch of good stuff here. Ooh, okay, we're... Oh, they're willing to sacrifice that. I'm all for it. Yeah, we're not winning unless we can hit... Well, there's an experimental frenzy. Let's see if we can hit something. Right, hit the land. Nope, not winning. Yeah, but kind of... Yeah, we did get stonewalled there, and... Well, that's the nature of playing aggro. If you get stonewalled early, and you're not going to win it. But hey, we went pretty far with what we had, so I can't complain too much. Let's see what our spoils are. Maybe I'll make us a little bit happier. But we can call this episode pretty decent 5 wins for admittedly really low power deck. He didn't exactly have much in the way of power there. Okay. Well, one pack of cans is nice. The other packs were kind of lackluster, if I may say so myself. Well, there's a Mockingbird. If I wanted to do that deck, it's still an option. Well, this was the cons pack. I would take a Mythic Wild card. That's okay. And Paragon, fine. Ikoria, what could we hope to hit here that's really nice? Okay, choose for ourselves. And finally, War of the Spark. What do you have for us? Well, more wild cards. And a copy of Feather. That's gonna be it for this episode of Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications and whatnot. Thank you for thanks Kyle for tuning in. Yeah, peace be to you too as well. That's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.